Welcome to the Uncompetent and Inqualified podcast once again. With me, Joey, and we have on the other screen there.
Will, it's me, Will Boyer. I don't know if you can hear me, Joey.
I
Coming
can.
live from Renton, Washington.
There you go. Yeah, I haven't seen you in like years.
I know, it seems like that. Yeah, we had a little mishap last weekend. We didn't quite get one in, but we're back.
Yeah, for those of you who have not watched this show before, me and Will used to be coworkers until he left me for another job. So, this is our only time we get to see each other now.
That's right. I cheated on you with another job, and then we left together and kind of left you behind. I'm sorry, Joey.
Yeah, I would say we ended it pretty. There was no laundry thrown out on the lawn or running over one another with the trucks or so. I think we ended all right.
I appreciate your maturity in the situation, and I'm glad we could come to an amicable separation from work.
Yeah.
But that's why we have the podcast, right? Is now, even though we're not seeing each other on the daily at work, we can still check in, communicate, and I don't know, talk about stupid shit somewhere else.
Yeah, and another thing, if you're just watching us for the first time, is we're complete idiots. I wouldn't take our advice very seriously. You're going to hear me try to use big words every once in a while that don't make sense with the sentence I'm putting it in. Just go with it. If you want, leave a comment. Let me know. It's going to happen quite a bit. Yeah, I like to try to sound smarter than I am, but Will knows that it's not always pretty.
No, it's really in the delivery. You're really confident with your word delivery. It tends to not be right, which is okay. I think the confidence kind of makes up for it. Like, sometimes when you use the wrong word, if you can just deliver it with kind of an oomph and some confidence, people just let it slip right by.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the word amicable. Yes. See, I learned that on TV, like through divorces and stuff. I've figured let's try to use it today, and I think I did okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also, you don't have to even use it right. You can be like, I hurt my amicable last week when I was snowboarding.
Right.
Like, yeah. There's plenty of ways to use words. Words are there for the choosing. I think there's plenty of ways we can use words that maybe society doesn't agree on, but it's an optional thing, right? Like speed limits.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So what do you got to talk about this week? It's going to be, you're off in a different world, different, you've spread your wings, you've flown the coop. What have you seen in this new world out there that you'd like to discuss this week?
No, man, it's exciting. I'm happy. I'm really happy where I'm at. I get a lot of freedom. I get give us a lot of kind of trust to get our work done, do what we're going to do. I don't have anybody hounding me over every second of my day or what's going on here. So it's a whole different world that I'm not quite used to, but I'm getting used to it. And I don't know, man, like working at the airport is fucking cool. Getting in behind the scenes, seeing like under the airport where all the baggage cars are driving, getting to drive out onto the ramp where all the planes are parked and pulling up to the terminals. It's just like, I don't know. At least early on right now, it's just super exciting. There's always just, I think for me, something about, I think because I like traveling, and so I have this really positive kind of connection with airports in my mind. You know what I mean? In my mind, like being in an airport means spending time with my family, like taking a vacation with my wife. I don't know. And I know probably some people are different when they think about airports. They don't like them. But for me, I just have a really fond kind of memory when it comes to being in airports because it's, oh my God, we're traveling. So I just get that feeling and seeing everybody else run into their terminals, run into their gates, and everybody else bustling around the airport. It's just fun. It's just fun for me to be around.
Yeah, I agree. When I worked for the electrical company out of high school, I delivered to the airport, and I got to drive out on the tarmac. And you're right, there's nothing cooler than like driving by these planes that are like getting ready, they're taxiing, getting ready to take off, and you just got driving down right next to all of them. It's just pretty cool, but I don't know one way or the other. I don't fly a lot. I don't know. I've probably flown. Yeah, I'm going to be 42 here, and I think I've flown maybe 10 times in my life. I guess round trip, so I guess it'd be 20. But I don't know. the security's all right. Everybody says you got to get there like 2-3 hours early. I've never faced that. I don't feel one way or another about it. I just hate when you're picking up or taking somebody down around the holidays and it's a 3-hour wait just to get to the fucking gate. Like, you're like, come on, let the people out and fucking move on with your life. Like, they're out there waiting for people and it's just backing up traffic. That's the only thing I hate about the airport. Once you get in the airport, I don't know. I've stood in long security lines and I don't know. It doesn't bother me as long as you got 4 hours.
I've never had an issue. Like, even with probably the longest I've waited in like an arrivals or departures is probably like 20 minutes, which was like one time. Usually the cheapest plane tickets are on off hours, right? So yeah, if you are flying out on a Saturday morning or flying in on a Sunday morning or something like that, like there are those times you're probably going to hit. But just whenever we book our plans, I always seem to miss those just because I've never really had a terrible experience with either security or just getting into the arrivals or departures. Yeah. But that being said, one of my perks is that I get free airport parking like when I'm on vacation and stuff.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So we're going to take a few days off in February. So we're just going to go park in the garage for free for a few days, especially since it's expensive.
Yeah, that's if I approve. That's if I approve your vacation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I forgot to CC you on my request.
Make sure I get that email, please.
But that does actually lead me into one kind of conversation that I had on my list of things to talk about with you, just because, and you touched on it, is that you don't fly out a lot. Like, you and your whole family are totally comfortable and happy driving across country, like, to get to a destination.
No, okay, let me put a squash to that. So that's not true. So I am from North Dakota. I was born in North Dakota. I was raised in Washington State. So we would go back every summer. My dad never flew, so he will not get on an airplane. He hasn't been on one. My uncle was a pilot, so I don't know if he ever went up at when my uncle was flying, but I know that I've never seen him on an airplane or heard of him being on an airplane. So I don't know if he's ever been on one.
But not in your lifetime. Not in your lifetime. Has your dad ever been?
So when we went to Disneyland when I was like 16, we drove. We went to, most of our summer vacations were going to North Dakota to visit all of our family. And that was every summer. We'd go back for 2 to 3 weeks. And then even after that, when I would go back and I would drive separate, once I became an adult and had kids and a wife at the time, we drove back for my cousin's wedding or something like that, and my grandpa's funeral and stuff. And so it was just, we were just following my parents. It was just easier just to follow them. The other thing is too, is you got to take a connecting flight in Colorado, and then you have to take a smaller plane into Devil's Lake. So it's not like you're flying to Las Vegas and it's $150, $200. And that's round trip sometimes. It's like $500 to $900 depending on when you're booking it, just to fly in to Devil's Lake where I'm from, because it's a small airport. And so it's very expensive. So that's kind of why I've done that. The other thing is, like, I've driven to Vegas a couple times. I've also flown into Vegas like 3 or 4 times. So I've been to Vegas a lot. You only know about the road trips for the most part. Actually, the last time I went to Vegas, I flew down. So the only reason why we drive down was, like, the last time was for my daughter's dance. We were going to have a ton of luggage, change of clothes. I didn't want to check 5 bags and pay $400 and then $1,500 for airfare for me and my 2 kids. And then, so we drove, and by the time we spend $100 on a hotel room for the night and $150 in gas, we're into it like $250 each way, maybe. I think we were actually under that. And so it was a hell of a lot cheaper. And then I was able to use that money and get a nice hotel room and get 2 rooms. So my daughters, because they're at the time, they were like 16, 17 or 18, something like that, right in that age range. And it gave them their own room so that they can do whatever. And my daughter could get ready for dance and take up the bathroom for 3 hours, whatever, doing makeup and hair and stuff. So there's always a reason for driving. Most of the reason is if there's going to be a large group of us, I will drive to save, because it's, especially with an economic car, it's a hell of a lot cheaper. But if me and you are going down and you're like, hey, I already got my flight, I'm probably just going to, it's not.
You don't have a rule. Have a thing about it.
And my sister, she flies all the time if she's by herself or just her and the kids or whatever. And then my brother, he flies all the time. He's talking about going to Vegas this year for his birthday, and I'm sure he'll fly down. So yeah, no, it's not that we don't like flying. It's just if it was ever a family trip, or we were having to go back for a funeral or a wedding or something like that, or anything where we were going as a group, we would normally drive because there's probably like 6, 7, 8 of us, especially once all us kids got older. I guess that's the long way around it, but
Yeah, I think it's a family thing for you guys. I think you guys are a little unusual where probably the way you're, like you said, just growing up with your dad probably normalized that. And there's nothing wrong with it at all. But it just always interested me that you guys are like, yeah, just that, like, you're like going on road trips and you guys, it just, I would never think about driving to... If I went to Portland, I would be considering getting a plane ticket to Portland. That's like 3-4 hours away. I wouldn't. But that's about the cusp. If I'm going to California, I'm getting a plane ticket. Like even Northern California, I'm getting a plane ticket.
Yeah. Okay. So look at it this way. So if I was going to take 2 weeks off, right, and say I'm going to like LA, okay, and I know that let's say I'm taking the kids. I got 2 girls, and at 18, 19, they're going to want to do shopping. They're going to want to go do stuff. They're going to want to spend some money, right? If I'm going to go all that way and I got a full 2 weeks off, I'm probably driving because it's about a day and a half drive. I've got my car. We can go Hollywood, Universal Studios, Disneyland. We go over wherever the hell we want. We don't have to rent a car for $40, $50 a day. It's probably more than that in California, but you get the point. And then on top of that, you're paying for your gas. You're probably not. It is a lot cheaper to drive. Now, if I only had, let's say I was just taking the weekend, and I was taking like a Friday, Monday off, and then, oh, hell yeah, I'd have to fly. Otherwise, we'd spend 6 hours and turn around and come home. So there's a lot of factors into it, but I would say that I've known a lot of people that take a lot of road trips that one of the family members, whether it be mom or dad or somebody, absolutely will not fly. And yeah, it is a change. But for me, it's more of it's just more of a money thing. It's it's not that uncomfortable to drive a day and a half to get somewhere. Now, if we're going to Florida, there's no way I would take. That would be, unless I'm like 70 years old, retired, and taking a motorhome, I'm not going to Florida in a car, and unless I had to. And I don't know. It just depends on the situation.
I think what strikes me is just the comfortability, like you're able to have, probably just because you did it so much growing up.
Yeah.
Like just personally, like just going up to visit my wife's like family and stuff. 2 hours away, right? 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours up, we hang out for a few hours, 2.5 hours down and back. I'm toasted. Like, I don't know what about it, but just driving period, I swear it takes it out of me so much. I don't know why that is, but like, I know a lot of people who are like me and they get in a car for 2 hours, and by the time they get out, they're like, their back's stiff, like they feel like it's almost, I don't know. I feel like,
yeah,
it's hard. So it just, like I said, it just boggles my mind that it just doesn't make sense to me. And it makes sense to me when you explain it. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense and that's stupid. I'm saying just like for me, like, man, I cannot drive for, and you guys, like, what do you do in a day? Like hours wise, what do you do in a day?
Oh, because man.
You guys are doing like 8, 10, 12, like,
10
hours?
8 to 10, 14 hours. Yeah.
And that's a lot, man.
It depends. It depends. I think my parents will do like 10 to 12. They'll get breakfast in the morning and then get on the road about 8, 9 o'clock. And they stop a little earlier, about 8. I've driven like, I don't know, 18 hours. It just depends on how early you get up. But I would say the coolest thing though, okay, so here's the downfall. And I'll tell you this, like you talked about going up north and back, is when you drive at the same route every time, there's nothing new to see. And so like my drive to North Dakota and back is not for pleasure. It's just to get somewhere. Like I've seen it so many times. There's nothing to see. But so when me and the kids were going to go to New York, and then I somehow tried to buy my parents' house at the same time, and it didn't work out. But we were in the middle of a trip, and I'm like, and all the money that I had to save was going to go towards the house. I had to make the decision, and luckily the kids were cool with it. But we were going to drive across country and do this massive road trip. And so we were already down through Oregon, Idaho, was it Utah? I think it was Utah, and then Wyoming and Nebraska. And then that's when I said, let's just go up to North Dakota and hang out with family. So otherwise I wouldn't have got the house. So anyway, so we're driving up, and I will tell you, like, it was a new route that I'd never been on before. And dude, Wyoming is just beautiful. Most people probably drive through there that live there and go, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of rolling hills, but it's fucking nice. Like, I probably know where I'd want to live, but it's just beautiful to drive through. And then when we were coming up, I've never come up through South Dakota. We always would go straight across, east to west. And driving up through South Dakota through the Badlands, if that was something that I flew over, I would have never known like how. And my dad always told me, because the Badlands kind of end up into North Dakota, so you drive through them, but it's not nearly. And my dad would always tell me, he'd say, "You got to see them in South Dakota. It's way more. It's amazing." And so I had never gotten to do that as a kid. And so when we're coming up through from Nebraska and up into South Dakota and going through all the Badlands, oh my God, dude, it's amazing. I don't know. I don't mind it when you see stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you're driving through the desert, like we were going back to North Dakota. I don't know, probably I must have been like 10 or 11. And we were going through Miles City, Montana. It's very hot in the summer. And it was like, I don't know how hot it was, but it was hot enough to make us fucking sweat inside the car. And the AC goes out. And so we're sitting there with our windows down with the fucking hot air blowing on our faces, and we're sweating even more. And yeah, like you said, times like that are brutal, and it's not fun at all. But when you're taking like a new route, I don't know. I don't mind it.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah. And I think that's a good point. I think if you can, like, we all know, like, driving through Nebraska, I'm sorry, but.
Oh, that was horrible.
Kansas, Oklahoma, like, there's a lot of states. Yeah. There's a lot of states you might as well just close your eyes and fall asleep through. Yeah. But like you said, like Montana, Wyoming, I think Utah. I remember I bought a car in Colorado once, and I drove through Colorado and Utah, and those were both very beautiful. Just especially different from where we're from areas. So 100%. But then, yeah, I guess the difference there is, are we driving to sightsee, or are we driving just to get somewhere? So if it's but I get it, man. Like, you're right. And then one thing that Jen and I I'm trying to do next year, we're still talking about it, is something that a certain grumpy superintendent of ours once talked about, which is a trip to Whitefish, Montana by taking the train.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I think, I was looking at that, and it looks like it's not super cheap, but you can get the room on the train.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's like a 14 or 12 hour train ride to get there. And you can get a nice room with some bunks and free dinner service. And I think it was around the same as a plane ticket. So we were talking about maybe just getting it one way and then flying back. But
you want my honest opinion?
Sure.
The train is so fucking bad. Like, it takes because you can take the train from Devil's Lake, where I'm from, all the way out here to Seattle. Yeah. And so, it's horrible. It's the same amount of time. And it's, even if you get a room, I don't know, man. If you're going to take the train, honestly, I would probably drive. I'm not a fan of the train. We took the train a lot. And now that was a lot longer of a haul going all the way to North Dakota. But yeah, we'd go through Whitefish all the time. Actually, we got derailed in Whitefish one time because it was snowing so bad when we were coming through. And I can't remember. I was a kid, so I can't remember all the details. We were stuck there forever. And I want to say we had to like bus into the next station or something. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, this is sidetrack story. But I don't know. I'm not a fan of the train. You guys should try it. If you guys haven't tried it yet.
I think that's the whole point. It's not. Yeah, we just want to experience the train and the scenic route.
Yeah,
I've been on a train from like Seattle to Portland. I've been on a train, but this one's more. I don't know. It's part of the. We're gonna go around Christmas time, and then we're gonna go get a hotel and spend a couple days in Whitefish, and then like I said, like the train thing is like a one-time thing. We're gonna fly back.
Yeah.
Like
now is this Amtrak or is this?
It's Amtrak, I believe.
Okay. So one of the things that they started doing, and so because like I said, we took it a lot as kids, and they got rid of the caboose, and that's your like snack area and your like game area, where like as kids we'd go back to like play cards or whatever. The adults would go have drinks, and my brother said they stopped that service, and so there's really nowhere to go hang out now, and so I don't know if you guys. I don't know. I'd look into it because I don't know if you guys are gonna be stuck in your room or
They're
if there's like
they're
if
supposed
the,
to have a lounge and dinner service, but
check
we'll
on
have to
that.
look. Yeah.
But they should still have the viewing car. I didn't ask him if they got rid of the viewing car. They used to have a viewing car where you could like get out of your room or get out of your seat and go sit where they got big windows and everything and you can look out a little better. And I would just look into it a little bit and see what they've gotten rid of and stuff because yeah.
It's a one. Yeah, I get you, man. It's a one-time thing, and if we there's been my wife and I can probably point to a list of things that we've ended up places we've ended up in, things we've done, and be like, yep, this is the last time we're doing this.
Yeah.
But either way, I feel like it would still be an experience at least.
Are you guys going to ski?
We'll see. Jen's not a skier, so we'll see. We may maybe get up there one day.
Okay.
But then it's going to be me teaching her, and you know how that's going to go.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you're in the hospital having hernia surgery.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quite the competent
Actually,
instructor.
I put that more on Hayden than anything. Hayden was really like, let's get this guy's. But no, you guys should do it. You guys should, if you haven't experienced it, you should experience it. Like I say, it was always such a cool moment as a kid when we got to ride the train. Because like I told you earlier, when we drove every time, it was like seeing the same damn thing. And the train took Highway 2. The train runs along Highway 2, so you guys see a different route. And it was kind of a treat for us kids to take the train. But there was also so much more to do. And my brother said they got rid of a lot of that. And,
Probably.
but
It's definitely not a kid's thing.
But I've never had. We always had seats. We never got the sleeper cars. So if you guys are getting a sleeper car, that might make it that much better.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Yeah.
I'll let you know how it goes. But I think, do you remember reading the Polar Express as a kid?
No, I've seen the movie,
No.
but
Okay. No, I used to have that book when I was a kid. Yeah, it's just this train that pulls up during Christmas. I don't remember what it was about, but
yeah, I've seen the movie.
yeah,
I've just haven't read the book. I've got a Polar Express.
it was like
train
it was like a children's book. It wasn't like a 300-page book. It was like a 10-page
Yeah.
book, if I remember. But
Yeah, I got a little Polar Express train that goes underneath the tree. But yeah, what else you got? You said you had a couple things.
you gonna make me carry this whole thing, Joey?
I don't know.
I did have one.
Yeah, you
something?
go ahead. Yeah, you go ahead. You go
Okay.
ahead.
Really quick, it's just something I was thinking about recently. Actually, last night we have a dog, Orion. We walk him a couple times a day, and I noticed something about myself last night, which is like when we're walking the dog at night or at night at all, and I'm looking like I'm no interested person. I'm always looking around. I'm always like paying attention to other people. I'm one of those people that are very observant to people other than myself. Does that make sense? You're looking at me. You're looking at me. You have some kind of judgment.
How did you say that? You observe people more than you? What'd you say?
I'm just saying, like in situations, like I'm just very observant of people's behaviors. Like I'm a people watcher.
So you're a nosy neighbor. Yeah.
A little bit, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. If there's something going on, if there's cop lights out, like I'm looking
Yeah.
between the blinds, trying to see what's going on. That
You're,
might
you're like my mom.
yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
my mom will be at Denny's and she'll be like, you can see her like turn her head. She's not even looking at anybody at the table anymore, and she's got her ear like faced to the other booth behind us, and she's like listening, and she's, oh my God, did you guys hear that? And it's like, what do you mean? Did we hear that? No, we didn't hear that. Okay.
Have you seen the videos of those people like on YouTube where they'll be the cops are out there like arresting someone and they'll take their vacuum to their front lawn and start vacuuming?
Yeah,
they're just pretending to look and vacuuming their front lawn or just
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, anyways, like I had this thing. I'm all like, it's hard to say this, man, without just sounding weird. But at night, and people, I look through people, like I'm looking at people's windows, like it's illuminated inside your house, right?
Jesus.
And so yeah.
Are you ready to go down this rabbit hole?
I don't know, man. I'm starting to regret it, but it's
keep
not.
going.
I'm just saying, like, when you living in a neighborhood, leave your blinds open at night and your lights wide open, like you have abandoned any expectation of privacy. Like anybody, especially like I said, when it's dark outside, light on the inside, people can see super clearly through your window. So I'm not like sitting there camping out in people's lawn. I'm not a freak, but like I'm gonna look and then oh, what does that room look like? Or what does this room look like? Or just trying to find God, the more I explain this, the worse it sounds.
Yeah, it's coming off a little creepy. Okay. I think you should probably see somebody about this.
Okay.
B, you haven't acted on any of these urges, have you?
I'm saying just the urges.
Let's just keep that between yourself then. All right, here's my thoughts. If I'm driving by and I see like blinds open, like you said, the fucking TV on, and you see it crystal clear, I'll be like, God damn, that's a big TV. If I saw somebody changing, I guess I'd be like, oh, that's fucking weird. But I don't. That'd be if I'm driving by somewhere and I notice. Like,
I'm just saying. My point is, you don't have a dog, right? Like you're not every night walking through your neighborhood like walking a dog. Like that. No, that's my point.
But if I was going down to get the mail and like I see about probably 3 or 4 houses that have windows, I'm not really looking. I mean that's my question. So.
Is there an etiquette? Because, and don't get me wrong, like during the day, I'm like, that's how I walk. Like I'm looking all around because I'm walking my dog for the 400th time on the same road. Like I'm just looking around of anything to see.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll give you an example. So I have not really experienced that around my house.
Yeah.
I don't think I wouldn't stop and look. Like I wouldn't even think about it. And I think I keep my blinds closed for the most part. I just never really thought of it like that. But I will tell you, like when we're doing construction and you're downtown Seattle and you got these tall buildings all around you.
Sure.
There's certain women and men who will be having sex or doing whatever nature does in that living room on a daily basis with their blinds open. And you're like, and you know that every fucking building around them can see them picture perfect. And it's funny because you get a job site with a whole bunch of construction workers and they're like, oh my God, across the street, floor 4, fucking 5 windows over from like everybody on every floor is stopping and watching the action. And I would say that those people that are doing that, they have to know, right? They have to know that they're surrounded by hundreds of viewers that could be watching. They could go to the bedroom. They could go anywhere. Like we've had people that
close their blinds.
We've had people that get in front of their like sliding glass doors on their balconies and from inside the living room and face the window and like totally fucking get butt naked and change right in front of you. And it's like, come on. I would say like those people are asking for it, but I just on the random like driving by or walking by, those are your neighbors. I don't think I'm going to stop and I don't know.
I'm not stopping. First of all, because you say I'm not going to stop. I am not stopping. I'm just saying I will. I'm just, and like I said, it's just, I do it every time I'm walking, day, night, whenever, but I'm just looking around because I don't know. I can't just stare at this sidewalk in front of me and walk in a straight line every day, twice a day for the rest of my life. I'm just looking around. But yeah, people's lights are on, all like, oh look, they're washing their window in their bedroom. Or like I don't know. Yeah, I'm just looking. So like, I'm not stopping. I'm just like, but I'm observing. Yeah, like they're doing dishes in front of their kitchen. But that being said, it's look, it's pitch black out. Your lights are on. You're standing right in your front of your window. There is no expectation of privacy there. But yeah, like I'm just like an observer, I guess.
Are there bushes comfortable to hide in?
Pull some thorns out of my foot.
So do you just like walking along and you see a window with with all lit up and see inside and you're like, oh Ryan, sit, and then he sits and then you're like, fucking dog won't move. He just decides to take a break wherever he wants, and then
I say down, and then we low crawl. Yeah, we low crawl to as close as we can get. And then I actually have a camera attachment for his head that I can send him around the house for around. He's very well trained.
Okay. Yeah, I would say it's not weird. I think it's just funny, like the way.
That's weird. Like just something I caught myself in.
I don't think like I said, I don't think I've ever been really in that situation, but I don't think I've really looked either. The biggest thing that I notice is like when you look in and like it's dark even inside the room and you see a big ass TV and it's like a fucking 80-inch or something. You're like, oh yeah.
But are you trying to watch? Awesome. Are you trying to watch what they're watching too? Because if I see a TV, I'm immediately like, what are they watching? What are they?
I don't think so. But
really,
but I do the big ass TV. Maybe I have a problem if I'm looking for TVs and not people getting naked. I guess maybe I need to talk to somebody about that.
And just to make clear, I'm not looking for people being naked. That's not the point of my window. It's just
maybe you're looking for a woman dog to match up with Orion.
yeah, I'm looking for anything more interesting than what I'm doing.
Okay.
But yeah.
Do you pick up his shit with a plastic bag when he shits?
Yeah.
That's the part I don't know, man.
I don't know. That's what you do, man.
It's just so gross.
It's not a negotiable part of owning a dog.
It's so gross. What do you do with the?
What do you propose? You throw the bag away.
Like you just throw it in the garbage?
We have a dog poop bag in our backyard for our yard that we throw it in, and then we tie that up and then throw it into our normal dumpster. Yeah.
Oh.
But some people just throw it right into the trash can too.
I got some motherfucker who walks their dog, and they throw their fucking bags in my ditch out front. And so when you go to when you go to weed with the fucking ditch, it's it gets overgrown, and so then you got a bunch of fucking bags. It's so disgusting. Like one of these days, catch those motherfuckers. If I'm not on this podcast 1 week and Will's got a replacement for me, I probably went to jail over some dog shit. It's a good possibility.
Yeah, that's not cool because I've seen you see those people that they will pick up their dog shit and then but they won't carry it with them. They'll just drop it right down. Or it's like you're gonna go through the work of picking it up and putting it in the bag and tying it off, but then you're just gonna go throw it somewhere fucking random. And then I know, and because they know if you call them out, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go pick it up on my way back." Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Yeah. They're not picking it up on the way back.
I agree. Why pick it up in the first place? It just makes no fucking sense. But yeah, you're right. It's just so that it looks like they're doing their fucking work and then they chuck it. But yeah, why even go through the initial process? Just fucking leave it on the ground and let somebody fucking yell at you for it if you don't care.
Yeah. So, rather than going halfway, picking it up and then just throwing and then just littering, throwing. It just blows my mind how complicated or why people need to make it so hard. It's not that difficult. Just pick it up, throw it in your trash.
Yeah. Speaking of dog shit, anybody on the East Coast, I know we're not getting much traction, but if anybody on the East Coast happens to see this, let us know how the storm affected you. Lila got 18 inches of snow last weekend, and she's in Pennsylvania for college. And now this weekend, they're supposed to get, I guess it was down 6 degrees yesterday, and the wind's 30 miles an hour or something like that, maybe 30, 40. It's supposed to get really fucking windy. It's just been nasty. I was watching the news, the national news, and the weather was on, and it was like, dude, it was state after state had a 250,000 to 500,000. I think Tennessee had 250 million people without power, and every state was on the East Coast was just tattered with power outages and snow and freezing temperatures, and so now they're worried about this weekend because a lot of houses don't have power, which means they don't have heat, and they're getting down into the almost to zero for temperature, and so it's not going to be good. But anyways, write us a comment if you're in any one of those states or was affected by the 2 snowstorms.
Shout out to what was it, Pittsburgh and Texas? I don't know, Texas. Where else was hit by storms? I don't watch the news.
Yeah, no, the whole East Coast, from Maine all the way down to the northern part of Florida. And then, so that's this one. But then the last one, it went across the Midwest. It was Oklahoma, Nebraska, all the way up to New York and Maine and stuff. Yeah, it was just, it affected like half of the U.S., maybe over half the U.S. It was a big storm, which we typically don't see that. Normally it's like a hurricane affecting 4 or 5 states, or tornadoes affecting 1 state in the Midwest. But that was a pretty range.
Where is our snow, Joey? I'm pretty sure every year, we at least got to get it dusting. But we're in February right now, man, and I don't think we're going to get it this year.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't know. You got to remember, it doesn't totally turn until about first or second week of March. So
that's what Jen was saying, but I don't know. Yeah. I'm not very optimistic. Like normally even by this time we'll have had some snow. Maybe it didn't stick, but it would have been 32, 33 degrees snowing, but it would melt really quick. I haven't seen any even mixed. Have you seen any mixed snow?
No.
This is a different year, man.
Yeah, but I would say the last 3 or 4 years were unusual years. We don't really get that much snow very often.
We
So
used to, man.
yeah, we used to get
Talking
snow
like
like
20 years ago, we used to.
yeah, we used to get snow like every second or third year, like every other year, every third year.
But it'd be like a
I
foot
don't,
or 6, 8 inch. Like it would be
yeah,
snow.
yeah. But we had a good snowfall. I mean, we had what was that like 7, 8 years ago, and then we had another good snowfall 3 or 4 years ago. It's just hit or miss. It's not every. I think I think this year's just we've had the cold temperatures. It's just we didn't have the moisture.
No man, it's global warming. I know you're just.
Oh, it's not global. We got the same
warming.
fucking. Good God, we did have a beautiful summer though. If you're gonna come at me with global warming, I will say warming. We did have a fucking great.
Okay. It is global warming, but hey, it does make our summers more beautiful.
Yeah, but it's still been fucking cold at times here. Yeah. I do got one that I want to talk about. So I want to, okay. And I can't remember if we talked about this on the first couple episodes or not, but, and I think we might have, but whatever. We'll just run through it again because I don't know if we have. It 'tis the season to be tax season. And it just got me thinking like on sales tax. And this is something that has always bothered me for the last 5, 6 years since me and my brother got into buying and selling like sports memorabilia and sports cards and stuff like that. And it's just, you got taxes on resale items. Let's say you buy a pack of cards, right? You pay sales tax. You pull something really good. You go onto eBay, you sell it. That person buys it. Price goes up a little, that person sells it. And then that buyer has to now pay sales tax. You could have one item that literally has been taxed to the fucking government 20 times in its life. I'm sorry, but resale items you should not pay more than once for a fucking item for tax. Like the government should not dip it in. You know, the thing that pisses me off, and I know there's going to be a lot of people that say, oh, that's what keeps our country running or goes to this and that. Yeah. I'm sorry, but like when did paying a sales tax on one item, like when did that make sense to charge that same item to 20 different people 20 different times and make let's say it's I don't know, $20 sales tax each time. You're paying more sales tax than the fucking item's even worth. I don't know. I want to get your thoughts on that because it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
So I guess what's your question is that, do you think like item should only have tax paid on it once in its lifetime?
Yeah, let's say this microphone right here, okay? Let's say this microphone is, now I'm going to break the fucking thing. Let's say this microphone is very sought after, right? And when I purchased it, it was like a limited edition. And so then I thought, hey, I'm not going to do any podcasts. I'm going to sell it. If I go on eBay and I sell this microphone, now I already paid sales tax on it. The government should not get to charge another sales tax to it. If I go on eBay and I sell this to somebody, that buyer has to pay sales tax to the government. And then let's say he doesn't use it, and so he resells it. There again, like the only way you get around that is like through a yard sale or garage sale. But anything that's like a transactional purchase, anything you have to pay taxes on. There's ways around. I know people are gonna call me an idiot because I know that there's if you sell your house and then buy a house,
there's some gifting rules.
Yeah, there's some rules around it, but for the most part, if you buy an item and you resell it on some kind of website, like I say, and that person runs their card, you are gonna get that buyer is gonna get charged tax again. And then the next guy, and then the next guy. And like I said, this one microphone in its lifetime could have somebody, I guess people might have paid tax on it 5-6 times. Like how is that? I don't know. How is that right? Like when you first
how is that wrong? I guess I don't see the issue with it just because it sounds like maybe your concern is where those tax money dollars are going, which I guess is a different argument.
No, I don't even care.
No, but that's how states and government make money states, because I don't think the federal government has a sales tax per se, but states do have a sales tax, and that's how they make money.
They could go to kids' cancer research, which would be phenomenal.
Well, taxes do go to cancer research.
Okay, yeah. Right. But I guess what I'm saying is it doesn't matter where they're going. What pisses me off is that when an item is brand new and you buy it and you pay a sales tax, that item you have already paid sales tax on.
Yeah,
it should be done.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not arguing where it goes or I care more that they shouldn't be able to retax you, I guess, is more like a retax.
Yeah. And I mean, if you think about it in the perspective, like you're Joe Schmo, you bought a guitar 10 years ago and you don't use it anymore, you're selling it. Like, why should that person? I think you're 100% right. But when you start looking at it as, say, like, all of a sudden you're now like an Amazon seller. And I go and I buy, and then I buy stuff really cheap from China, and then I resell it on Amazon, and I sell 6,000 items a year. That's where they're going to be getting their money from. It's like those people that are going to be making a career out of reselling those items. That's where the real money's coming from. So I don't think it's really put in place for Joe Schmo who's trying to sell his ex-wife's sewing kit. But but I think when it becomes quite an industry where someone's selling like used clothes or used whatever, the government wants their piece, man.
Yeah,
100%.
I mean, that's just it. Used clothes, used shoes, guitars. There's so many different things.
But that being said, if you do go the offer up route, I think on some of those, nobody pays taxes to each other, but it's got to be under a certain limit, correct?
Yeah, Craigslist is nationwide or not, but Craigslist or offer up or any of those, and you meet up and you just hand them cash, then obviously you're getting around it. But like I say, any transaction that is done like over the internet is
legally done. Yeah, that is legal transaction. Yeah, you have to pay sales tax on that.
So I don't know. It's just kind of, but like you said, you can go to a yard sale, you can go to a garage sale, you can go to offer up, you can go to Craigslist, go meet them and pay cash. It should be. It's a used fucking item. It's not a brand new item that a company that you're making a person who's buying it off the shelf pay that tax. It's a used item that somebody's just trying to get rid of and sell to somebody else. But I don't know. But like you said, there's profit in it too for some stuff like guitars. You could have an item that you bought for $100. It's now worth $500,000. I get that, but I think, hey, the government's already made their fucking money. They're making money off of every product that comes off of a shelf, out of a store, or off the internet. They shouldn't be able to tax used items that were already taxed.
But I don't know. I think you definitely have a more cynical view of our government than I do, which is I don't know. I feel, don't get me wrong, like I don't think the government don't get me wrong, like the government's fuck ups too, but the idea is that the money we're taxed to pay those are coming back to us somehow, as far as whether it be highways, infrastructure, into the thousands of programs that the government pumps. I'm talking state level right now, but the thousands of programs that the state pumps back into our economy. It's not like, I don't think our governor is just like banking all this money from it. I don't think, especially state-wise and local-wise, like our legislature, governor is becoming super rich off of us. So I don't know. I guess I don't have a problem paying taxes, man. I feel when I see road crews out working, or I see like, hey, the state gave this money to this organization or whatever, I feel like, okay, that's where my tax money went. And don't get me wrong, like I'm sure there's red tape and mismanagement all the time, and it's not a perfect system.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah. I don't mind paying taxes either. I think we're a little off on each other's points, but it's like your neighbor coming over to borrow a cup of sugar, and you're like, hey, this fucking bag of sugar costs $5, so Uncle Sam is gonna want 25 cents in fucking federal tax, the sales tax coming back to him, or state sales tax coming back to them when I pour this little fucking cup of sugar out for you. No. You gotta pay the man. Like that's not. I don't think that's necessarily what the sales tax was introduced for. It was introduced for like markets and like items that were selling off of a shelf. So I guess one could look at that and go, eBay is like a store on a shelf, or like items on a shelf. But I think it's just the way that it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't. Yeah, but no, I can see where you're right too. I don't mind the sales tax at all. I don't mind what it goes for, and I don't mind as long as it's being used. But I just think it needs to be looked at. It's just crazy to me how we can. Like I said, the one thing that I argue the most about is one item. There could be something that sells, like I said, like 50 fucking times or 100 times, And it's just like every time it sells, the government gets X amount of dollars, and it's just a fucking reoccurring.
And I think, like I said before, like I don't think Joe Schmo selling their old crap is why it's like that. I think because of the people who literally, here's the thing, is people will literally make their careers off of that. Like, it's for the guy that literally collects and sells cards. Say that's your job, right? Like your cards, and that's how you make your business. You sell 2,000 cards a year or something. And that's because that's your business. That's their way of getting their cut. And whether that's right or wrong, like, that's how I think of it, is that, and that, like, when I'm selling you something on eBay, like, we're just the unintended victims, because no, I don't think it's there to just tax everybody. It's probably more for the people that are making businesses into it, because like Ticketmaster, reselling, whatever it is.
Well, last thing I'll bring up is a car, right? Cars.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I just bought a brand new car last year, and I paid fucking $8,000 for taxes. Like most of it was going towards taxes, or how much ever it was. Probably not $8,000, but if I want to resell that in 2 years, some poor sap has to pay the fucking government another couple $3,000 on taxes for buying a used fucking car it's already been taxed. So I don't know. I'm just saying that there's got to be a better way. Maybe there's a max. There'd be no way to govern this, but maybe they can be taxed on it like 3 or 4 times, and the tax drops off. There'd be, like I said, there'd be no in that.
Or, you know, what would be interesting is doing, say you have a new product tax and then a used product tax. Say you got this new, like, 9%, 10%. Then say used, you got 5%.
Yeah, we're at 10.25% in Seattle here. So yeah, you're right. If you go 5%, maybe half. I can agree with that. I think we're on the same page. I'm not saying that there shouldn't be taxes. Like, I agree, but there's got to be a, like I say, I'm not going to say the government's getting rich, even though some of them are, some aren't. But they get a lot of money coming in that people don't really realize. They don't stop and think. Just in the one scenario I just told you with, like, used stuff, if you think of it, it's not just collectibles. Like I said, it's cars, it's houses get resold. You're talking a lot of taxes on a house. You're talking hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in a year. I wonder if anybody has that stat. Like, I'd be interested to know exactly how much comes on resale items to the government. And it's like, that item, here's the funny thing is, when I bought that item, it never was really owned by the government, but I bought that item, it's mine. Like, they shouldn't be able to come in and say, hey, we're going to tax you again just because we're nice. Anyways, so I know we got...
And let's not forget, like, hey, there's, like, Oregon, there is no sales tax. But, what? They have property tax, they have income tax.
State, yes.
Correct. You know, pick your poison, kind of, right? I know things are expensive here in Washington for sure. We don't have income tax. We're not. But then there's some states that have both. They have income tax and sales tax. So
we don't have the state income tax, and so
But we do have a high tax rate. Yeah.
We got sales tax, but then we also got Oregon that we can drive down to and go shopping if we want to and avoid.
Yeah, but they're on that. Like, you can't just buy a car there and come up here.
No, but you can go down and go clothes shopping and stuff like that for school shopping. But I think we're both in the same area. I just think there's got to be, and it'd be too hard to figure out how to establish a cutoff on how many times an item would be taxed. But I agree with what you're saying. If it's a new, then it would be your normal sales tax. If it's a used item, then maybe a 4 or 5%. But
that would help the resellers too, like the people with their eBay shops or whatever. It would help, and it helped reusing consumer products too, which I think would be a good thing. Hey, instead of buying new, there would be an incentive to, like, especially because some used items could be more expensive, right? If it's classic or sought after, it could be even more expensive. So having less of a tax on that would be helpful.
Yeah. So we should probably transition to the big game. We're not allowed to say the SB word.
The SB?
Yeah, it's a bad word, man. It's a bad word. People have jobs over saying it.
The giant container that holds, like, soup or pasta.
Also be considered a bowl.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What kind of bowl? Like a big bowl? Like a great bowl? A fabulous bowl?
Extravagant. Extraordinary. Yeah.
Stupendous.
Stupendous. Bull. Yeah, we were just talking about this before coming on here, and I'm like, and has there ever been a trademarked? We can come on YouTube or any other fucking stream and talk about Disney or what's another like big that's been around forever. I don't know that there's ever been anybody that's ever trademarked a slogan like or a name like the big game, the SB word, and they're like nobody's allowed to say it on any commercials or any platform, or they can be sued. Who the fuck does that? Like I can say the NFL all I want. I can say Seahawks. I can say go beat the fucking Patriots, but I can't say the two words of the game that's coming up next weekend. We can say the time, 3:30 Pacific. Don't miss it. But we can't say the name. Talk about fucking stupid. Like, how do you feel about that, Will?
Yeah, that's just what it. Yeah, this is America, right? Like, they're so afraid that someone can use those words together and make a profit that doesn't immediately benefit them. And yeah, like just fucking country is so litigious that yeah, by saying the wrong words in the wrong venue or online could result in a cease and desist or a lawsuit just by bringing up their organization or their event. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I feel like the feds are sitting outside my house right now, looking through my windows with my blinds
They're
up.
waiting. They're waiting.
Yeah.
Like they have a laser on the back of your head right now, and if you say those SB words, you're taken out, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and I don't know how serious it is. I'm sure if we said them, like nobody give a fuck because
nobody gives shit about us.
10 viewers, but I would be interested. I'd be interested to see like where do they stop, right? Because like you said, their big thing is they just don't want Pepsi or fucking Doritos or Lay's or whatever. They don't want them using the words and to gain popularity with their brand or associate them with their brand without paying rights. Yeah. And so it makes sense why they do it, but it is like well known. I mean, that you don't say those words without having the permission, and it's like,
and honestly, that probably means they have to enforce it all the way up and down, right? Because if somebody gets away with talking about using it, Doritos is going to sit there and be like, these people were saying this and this, you had no problem with that. Like, why?
Right.
But by creating that precedence, you have to enforce it to keep people honest.
Yeah.
But we know the owners of the SB are probably hurting financially. They're probably on their last legs. If this event doesn't take off, they might be living under a bridge next year. We understand we're not going to use your trademark name, but we support you, and we hope next year you're able to afford the rent for your tiny apartment.
Yeah, maybe you'll make trillions instead of billions next year. Speaking of billions.
Go ahead.
Oh, wait, what do you have? You got something?
Oh, I'm just saying, hey, I'm excited to see Bad Bunny. So
I'm not going to be watching that shit. Hey, did you hear that the Seahawks are going to be sold now?
To who?
So
because it's still owned by the Allens, right?
Yeah, the Allen estate. So when Paul Allen passed away, for any that don't know, it was passed down to the Allen estate, and Jody Allen, his sister, took kind of ownership. Okay. Yeah, is his sister. Okay. And it was in his will that he wanted the estate to sell the Seahawks and put all the money to charity. Now they're thinking that the Seahawks are going to sell for about $9 to $11 billion. And so she has run the team now since 2018. It's been quite a storyline because everybody in Seattle has been wondering, when are the fucking Seahawks getting sold? Like, when is this going to happen? Because we already lost the Sonics, and now we have a state-of-the-art stadium that some say is the best all around for sound. I'm a little biased living here, but yeah, it's a beautiful stadium. It's loud. And so everybody's like wondering, when are these guys getting sold? Who are they getting sold to? Are they going to get fucking shipped out like the Sonics eventually? And so it just broke out that no matter what happens, oh, Jesus, I just said it. You have to edit that out, Will.
I can't make any promises. We have an editor, and he's a Gen Zer, so
okay,
it's going to be a crapshoot whether he sees that or not.
And what's his name again? You got it. Andre, that's right.
We call him Gen Z Andre.
Andre, if you see this video and if you rewind it like 20 seconds, please put a bleep through my SB word.
Yeah, you just have to take out one word. Either
just- yeah.
that first word or the second word. Either
Yeah,
one.
you can leave it in.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Or
yeah,
maybe
what
put a
was I?
swear
So-
word in between. So instead of those two, it says "fuck you" or something.
Yeah, or motherfucker. Yeah.
Motherfucker. Okay.
So after this world, no matter. God damn it, there I go again. I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
this is being a good one, Andre. You got this, Andre.
Oh, good God.
But this is our last episode. I'd just like to thank all our listeners. We are now in court in our future. And
Yeah.
we're about to be negative $18 billion in the hole. So
Yeah,
we
they're
appreciate
like-
your support.
They're suing you for $5 million. They're like, all right, sweet. Come try to get it.
Stay tuned for our GoFundMe for our legal fees.
Yes. So yeah, anyways, after the big game, the Seahawks will finally be up for sale. So I hope it goes well.
So they were like waiting for a Super to make sure the stock was as high as possible before they sold it.
I think so.
I think so. That's awesome.
What's cool because with it all going, all the proceeds
charity.
going to charity, and you know what's funny? Talk about taxes. I did read. Now I don't know if there's truth to this, but it had been long enough. It had. What did they say? I'm probably gonna butcher this, but something about how long it's been since he passed, that they're past the tax time. The city of Seattle does not get 10% back on the sales tax. All of the proceeds will go to the charity.
Really?
And so so let's just say they sold for $10 billion, city would have got $1 billion. They don't get that now. So good for them. So yeah, I think it's a win-win all around. And I think Paul Allen was a very charitable guy. He's just the same as Bill Gates. I know a lot of people hate fucking Bill Gates and whatever for what he's done, the Epstein and all that, but all the money,
They're philanthropists.
Yeah.
They both put significant amounts of effort and money into charities. That's
And
a
a
fact.
lot of that is, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, they did it for tax breaks. Yeah, they do, but still, I think there's a lot of rich people out there that don't. And
Yeah, there's
so-
some that just put all their money into what is it? One of those other countries can whatever.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that paid zero taxes. So yes, could these billionaires put more money into charity? Probably. Would that be great? Yes, but ultimately, they're really stingy billionaires who put zero into charity and still fuck people over, and then there's at least the ones that like make charity a priority of their riches. So I can appreciate the latter.
So from a sports fan's perspective, I really hope that Paul Allen was a huge supporter of the Seahawks. He was not just an owner. And that's another thing. There's a lot of owners out there that own these teams that just see them as transactional purchases, and that's it. It is a business, and it is not. Paul Allen loved the Hawks. He loved the Blazers. I don't know if he loved the Blazers as much as the Hawks, but he definitely loved the Hawks. I never heard too much about him and the Blazers and him making appearances, but the Hawks, he seemed like a pretty diehard Hawks fan when he bought them.
Yeah.
And so I hope that whoever the new owner is as much of a fan as he was and keeps us in the right direction. Because, dude, if they go to, let's say they go to, I'm trying to think of what, I can't think off the top of my head. There's a couple of states where they've talked about proposing for teams to move to.
No.
It just depends. If you get to where,
we never thought it would happen with the Sonics either.
right, we're a pretty big market. We're not. I don't think we're mid-market.
Moving, but yeah. But we've seen how many times the Rams. There's a lot of teams that have moved around a lot.
Yeah, you just never know. So hopefully, if I got one wish, let's just avoid all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's avoid the out-of-state guy coming in and buying the team. Let's keep it local. Let's have,
And I assume I would hope the estate will factor that in. Jody seems, I heard her talk after our last win. And honestly, I'm just really quick. We can just go over predictions, but I'm more excited to play the Patriots than I was the Rams. The Rams are tough for us, and
the Rams were last. The Rams were NFC.
I know. No, I know. No,
you mean against them last week? I
think that game. I think that game was going to be a harder. And I know I'm probably screwing us over by getting too. But I think that was going to be a harder game than us versus Patriots. What do you think? More than us.
Okay, on paper,
the Rams were a good team, and
on paper, I think we have the better lineup. and we have the better defense. The thing that scares me though is a lot of times when you go into these Super Bowls, there's always a clear-cut dry winner.
Yeah.
I would say for the most part, not I guess not always, but for the most part. And I would say a lot of those times when you go in and everybody on ESPN right now is saying the Seahawks are going to blow them out of the water.
Yeah.
And I don't know how this. I'm not a conspiracy guy, but it is fucking weird.
I know what you're talking about.
There'll be a landslide of bets on the Hawks, and all the money is going to be on the Hawks. I guarantee you by next Friday, Saturday, I'll update you when we sit down in the next show because I usually pay attention. I'm going to bet you that 60 to 70% of the money is on the Hawks. I do not like that, and I think you guys all know why. Vegas always makes the money on those and has a good profitability, and I hope that's not right, but
that's just it. Like I think we're the better team. I think on both teams' best day we are the winners, but then there's that it factor. There's the random, you get in a bad groove, they get in their groove and they beat us. There's always that chance, and it's like a fight, right? Like anybody can knock out anybody else, right? All it takes is one punch to knock somebody out. So there's never 100%. And it was like, God, you remember when we won the Super Bowl? You remember? Mm-hmm. It was us and the Broncos, right? It was Manning with the Broncos.
Yeah, and
man, we just creamed them. It wasn't even a fun game. It wasn't. Yeah. It was like it started from the very first play. Wasn't it like that interception? Didn't we fumble or something on the very first play or something?
Yeah, and then we were up like 14, 17 or something like that coming out of half. Yeah, and then Percy Harvin runs it back for a touchdown, and like. When that happened, everybody's like, this is fucking done. Like, and it's like not even, it's just 2 minutes into the third quarter.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. It was nuts. And a lot of these games, see, the problem is, so our defense, I think, is better. I think their offense is pretty good. They've got 2 stud running backs, and they got Stephon Diggs, who's not a slouch himself at receiver. And so if Drake May can put the ball on him and they could run the ball, it could be a close game. Now, it's like you say, when we played the Broncos, we knocked the socks off them. Now, I have a feeling that the NFL probably wanted the Broncos to win that. Manning was getting to the end of his career. Now, he did end up winning a Super Bowl with the Broncos, I think, the next year. But if my money was on that one, I would bet the NFL wanted Denver to win that. But we fucking shellacked them. And so there was nothing you could do. See, now, a lot of people think like teams or coaches or whoever can throw games. If stuff like that was going on, then it would get out all the time. But the officiating, watch how the officiating is like, and those guys make fucking pennies compared to some of these players and coaches and organizations. Like those guys are not paid well at all. And so if they say they watch it, but let's say they got a lot of money on the game, watch how the officiating is. A lot of these big games that are close down to officiating. And so I guess that's the long way of me saying I hope that we just come out and blow the fucking doors off them. I don't want it to come down to officiating because I think the Patriots, the storyline to like, oh, Drake May is the successor to the Brady. This is the new era. I think that storyline's bigger than the Seahawks being here. And so I think the NFL, if I had to put money on it, would want the Patriots to win. And so don't make this fucking close. Just come out and just fucking beat the shit out of them. That's all you can do.
No, yeah, I hear you. And honestly, like, we gotta get out of here, but just really quick, like, that bullshit that Woolen pulled last week, like, that, we got lucky. That could have been a game ender for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That should have been our ball. That should have been our ball on, what, the 10, 15, 20? Nope. That turned into a touchdown right away. Right on him, too.
Yeah, and that was like 5 minutes left in that was around the time for us to run the clock out. It was huge. And where's our players pulling him back, saying, "No, get the fuck back over here. Stop what you're doing." Yeah. He was jogging up and down the sideline, chirping at him, and the ref let it go for what seemed like an eternity, but it was like 30 seconds, and none of our players went up and grabbed him by the jersey and pulled him back.
He looks like he just, because I remember, because you could see them on the sidelines, and the players were like coming up to him being like, "Hey, what the hell, man?" And he was getting, he seems like he might just have an attitude. And I'm sorry, but he's a good cornerback, but he's not that fucking good. He wasn't that good against Nakua. But that Nakua guy, that guy's a fucking baller.
Yeah.
Like that guy.
He is.
That guy can play, man. It was like just Like that was it for them, and they were
Yeah.
still. I mean, I know they have a couple other targets and stuff, but that guy was like 90% of them, and he's fucking on.
I hate him because he's a division rival, but yeah, there's no arguing how good he is. He is phenomenal. He is. He's remarkable. Yeah, I guess that's probably about it. We'll have to catch up next week. We keep promising a special guest. We got to figure this out.
Okay. Next week we're gonna shoot for one, right?
Yeah, and it's not gonna be Lila. I was hoping to get my daughter on here. I can ask Dakota. She doesn't sound too excited about it, but Lila's been so caught up with over there because they've started softball training, and so she's just been busy all the time with softball and school and stuff. But we'll figure somebody out. We got a couple people in mind that said they want to come on, and yeah.
I'm excited.
So,
we're gonna have our first guest. We
Yeah.
had one, but it didn't work out. Yeah. Okay. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Please subscribe, comment, just watch our video. We'll be happy. Hopefully our Gen Z tech guy can get some shorts coming out this week. He's been indisposed. He's got Gen Z things going on apparently, but we're going to try to get some more content up, and so that way we can hopefully get some more of this stuff out. Anything else you want to say, Joey?
yeah, and if you guys have been watching us from the start, which thank you, or you've either seen us lately and then went back and watched a couple of videos, give Andre a shout out. Let him know if the videos look better and stuff like that. All the credit goes to him. Like we said last week, that he didn't have to step up and say, "Hey, I'd like to do this," like we say, for free for now and to help us out. So, yeah, give him a comment too. Let him know what you think.
Oh, and I just got a text from him. It looks like he's been putting shorts out on TikTok and Instagram. So he's been putting stuff out on multiple platforms for us. So I should lay back. He's not getting paid. But he did just text me because all I have even access to is our YouTube. So like I just see, hey, our shorts out.
Don't be an asshole, Will.
But hey, if we gotta do an episode about how much of an asshole Tito Will is, then I'm down for that too.
And please don't tag when I said the SB word. Please.
Just
don't
send
get
it
us in trouble.
straight to whoever that guy is in charge of the SB. I don't know who it is.
Super suck is what I meant. Super suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Signing out.
All right.